Hey guys, what's going on? With you, Sincere here with whoissincere.com, Anon Radio Live, and the All Rights Matter show. Oh man, so I'm coming on here to do a quick video. This isn't going to take too much of your time. I got to get out of here in a second anyway. I want to talk about what's going on in Dallas. I want to talk about Black Lives Matter, Philando Castile, and Alton Sterling. Now, I'm just going to kind of group everything down and just give you a general breakdown of what I see and what's going on. As many of you know that follow my YouTube channel, I'm an African-American veteran. I served honorably with the United States Army, held a secret security clearance as an information systems analyst. I've worked next to General Abrams, who has put walls down on the, or say checkpoints, really, down on the southern border in Texas there after he got out of the military as a general. I worked on a lot of major projects. I've done a lot of things for the military, and that's kind of just my background as a person. I'm also a business owner and other things amongst other things. But so those of you who know me know my credentials. You know who I am. You know what I do. You know where I'm from, and you know what I'm about. Okay, so let me give you a rundown. I watched the Dallas situation unfold. I watched it, live TV. I watched it unfold. Had several channels running at the same time. What I got from the situation is very interesting. And plus, I have a friend that was down in that area who actually had some of her Black Panther friends arrested during the Dallas standoff. Excuse me. What I got from that situation and that event was, it's not good, guys. So if you look at my channel, you see I just put out a video of Black Lives Matter getting hacked, where D-Ray and Netta were hacked by, of course, hackers, and information came out about something called a Summer of Chaos. Now, this wasn't surprising to me personally, because I've been following the globalist elite agenda for a long time. The globalists have this high agenda that they are enacting right now. This agenda, and I'm going to break it down for you as quickly as I can without taking up too much of your time. Turn my cell phone down. Okay. This is how it works. Donald Trump is a plant. We'll start there. Donald Trump is a plant. He's not a Republican. He doesn't even hold Republican values. He uses Republican talking points to woo over his supporters. So, with that being said, you're probably asking yourself, okay, Sincere, where is this going? Why is Donald Trump a plant? Why is he a troll, if you will, for the Republican Party? Well, there's something that the Republican Party, as much as I don't like them, there's something that they hold that is very valuable, it's very precious, and it matters to all of us. Okay? Now, my show is called the All Rights Matter Show, and it's for a reason, because it's based on rights. Rights are God-given. There's no man that can create rights for you. There's no man that can take rights away from you. They're created and given by God. They're unalienable rights. Okay? What the Republican Party is opposed to is anyone taking your constitutional rights. That is their go-to document whenever anything comes up from the Democratic Party and they're trying to figure out whether it's going to be good or not for the people or for their constituency. They'll look towards the constitutional backing of that and make sure that it's in accordance with the Constitution. Now, as far as I've studied and as far as I've looked, the Republicans are really the only ones that do that. The Democrats really aren't into it as much. They're a lot more progressive as far as lawmaking is concerned. Okay? Now, a lot of these Democrats are nothing more than Republicans with a slightly different agenda, if you want me to be honest with you, the establishment Democrats, that is. Okay? So Donald Trump has always backed and supported Hillary Clinton, and her family. They are great friends. I've been saying this since the middle of last year. I was saying, hey, wait a second, guys, this is a show. This isn't something that, this isn't reality. This isn't something that you're going to have a choice and a pick, even for all my Bernie supporters out there. I've been saying it to you guys too. I know you you don't like to hear me say it, but Bernie's not going to win. He's not going to win because they can't let him win. He was kind of an unexpected variable, if you will, but they dealt with him in the fashion that the establishment deals with him. They demonized him. They omitted him. So when you go through demonization and omissions as a person, that means that they're trying to ruin your credibility, and then they want to take you out of the situation so that nobody really knows what you stand for, what you're about. So it makes it easier for them to float around terms like a communist or, Hitler or something like this, So I knew it right away that Bernie Sanders wasn't going to get the Democratic nomination. And I've been pushing for Bernie Sanders to get out of the Democratic Party because he's been an independent for half of his life, most of his life. So run on the independent ticket with Jill Stein. Wow, what a great! Oh my God, that's like a dream made in heaven as far as running this country with people that truly understand what people want. All right, and not beholden to any kind of corporate interest. We haven't had that, guys. In my lifetime, in most of your lifetimes, you've never seen that. You've never seen a single politician hold government office that's not beholden to corporate interests. Not one single politician in your lifetime. That's why we say that Bernie Sanders is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Unfortunately for Bernie Sanders, about a couple weeks ago, I called it conceding. A few people said, oh, it's not conceding. He's just trying to uphold the Democratic Party. To me, that's conceding if you say that you'll vote for Hillary Clinton. And he said it twice in the same day on two separate networks. And I put a video out regarding that saying, hey, it's over with. Bernie Sanders just conceded and told his opponent that, or just pretty much stated that he would vote for his opponent during the general election. And Hillary Clinton has not said that once about Bernie Sanders. So right there, he lost a lot of the superdelegate support that he would have gotten in July's convention. And all of this, of course, happened right after him meeting with President Obama at the White House. The media didn't latch on to it too much. They just wanted that reassurance, and they wanted Bernie to go on and say it one time, just so they could have it as a soundbite. So later on, if Bernie tries to do anything, contrary to what he has already said that he will do, meaning if he tries to go to the Democratic National Convention and actually have a contested convention to actually beat Hillary Clinton, then they'll be able to pull up this soundbite and say, wait a second, Bernie, you said you're going to vote for Hillary. What happened? What are you talking about now? Why are you trying to have a contested convention? Why are you trying to ruin the Democratic Party? Okay, so Bernie is not going to go anywhere. Bernie is stuck, between a rock and a hard place. He's literally stuck. But he placed himself in that position, so I don't really feel bad for him. He could have easily dropped out of the Democratic Party, ran on the independent ticket, and then just obtained over 33% of the vote. And him and Jill Stein could have did that together, and they would have won the presidency. But I don't see that happening unless, some unforeseen situation happens and Bernie just wakes up and says, wait a second, they got me, they robbed me. Oh, no, I'm going off on them. But I don't see Bernie Sanders really doing that. He's too concerned with losing the election to Donald Trump. And he should rightfully be concerned about that. I'm not going to say he shouldn't be concerned about that, but his way of going about handling it to make sure that Donald doesn't win is completely wrong, because he's now telling us to vote for the corruption of Hillary Clinton, the same thing that he's spoken out for this whole entire last year for. So back to Donald. Now, Donald is like I said, he's a player. He supported the Clinton family and two of her presidencies, and They're all good friends from the New York, New Jersey area. They spend time with one another, actual family time with one another. And if you add one other person to that mix that they both know very well, you can see where I'm going with this. Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are great friends with George Soros. George Soros, the guy that's running around the country, running around the globe and overthrowing countries. So when you have a Republican at the top of the ticket, a Democrat at the top of the ticket, in tumultuous times like this, and their alignment is with the billionaire class, specifically George Soros, you have to ask yourself, am I being duped? This partnership, this friendship that they have with George Soros is not a small one. Okay, Donald Trump and his family spend Christmas Eve with George Soros. It's been reported, look it up. Okay, that's how close they are, that they spend Christmas Eve together. I don't know about you, I don't spend Christmas Eve with people that I don't like. I don't spend Christmas Eve with people I don't know, trust, care about. You understand what I'm saying? These people are friends. Soros has helped Trump out on a few properties back in the past, but big money deals where he saved Donald's butt pretty much. So Donald might owe him a solid, might owe him a little favor, okay? Now, you couple that with the amount of money that's being spent for Hillary Clinton right now by her super PACs, people like, Soros and many other people, and you very quickly start to see that, wait a second, something isn't right here. The man that's responsible for overthrowing all of these countries now has his fingers in the pot here in the United States of America, and he's stirring and stirring and stirring with a big $1 billion spoon. Okay? So that's what you see happening right now. It's an illusion, guys. The 2016 elections is an illusion. The Republican Party is being destroyed because of their constitutional values. These neoliberals cannot move forward. The establishment Democrats cannot move forward with their plan of tyranny because there's one document that's standing in the way, one document that's guarded by pretty much God. That one document is the Constitution. Now, once our godly rights are going, there is no such thing as you have rights. Now you fall into a category and you fall into a position where you are now held accountable by solely the law. Now, who administers the law? Who administers the law is the crooked bar people. That's, you have the Bar Association, okay, for our lawyers and for our judges. They're all a part of the same organization. They all, help to dictate and write laws and, things like this. And we know that when we go to court, that it's an inclusive system, or I should say an exclusive system, for the elite, for those who are in power. So if they want something to happen in that courtroom, more times than likely, about 97% of the time, I'd say, they'd get what they want. That's how that goes. So, and even when they don't get what they want, both lawyers are a part of the bar still wins. The judge, most judges in most states, you have to be a part of the bar to be a judge. So we have conflicts of interest within our judicial system that are oppressive to the people once those conflicts of interest are actually merged together and delivered to us in a way where the oppression is forced upon us, such as all the people that go to jail and they can't afford, a proper attorney, and they end up getting a court-appointed attorney. Well, we all know how that works with the public defenders. We all know that the public defenders, the judges, and all these people on the staff inside the courtroom, they're all friends. They're all good friends. They belong to the same bar. So at the end of the day, what happens is you get a plea deal in most situations. We have a lot of Americans running around getting plea deals and copping the plea deals because they don't understand the legal system. They don't understand what their rights are. It all goes back to rights, guys. So if you're able to circumvent someone's rights and make them just hold to the standard of the law, you can then implement tyranny. That's how that works. Now, the Republican Party is being destroyed just for that reason, because these establishment Democrats, they have a globalist agenda that is pretty much going in the direction of complete tyranny. Complete tyranny. Now, before we get to complete tyranny, how do you pull that off without, how do you pull off complete tyranny without really raising a red flag that you've just made a series of moves towards tyranny? Well, you realign people's hearts and minds. You omit things. You demonize other things. So the omission of everything that I just told you is what what they're omitting from the situation, is the fact that they're destroying the Republican Party just based on the fact of the constitutional value of the Republican Party. We all know they're an oppressive party. We all know that they're not a party for the people. We all know that the Republican Party is sold out a long time ago. We all know there's a lot of fake stuff that goes on in that party. But they have the one document, the Constitution. So once that Constitution is removed, these globalist establishment Democrats can do what they do best. Now, you say, well, that sounds great. It sounds like a good story. But in my other video, I also told you about something called Global Citizens. The Global Citizens Festival was held in 2015 when the Pope was here. He was on the other side of the city in New York City. Global Citizens met in Central Park. They had a 6-hour concert where top dignitaries from the world came. Vice President Biden, his wife came, Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, Richard Branson, Citibank from the Southeast Asia Pacific region, which is, our big TPP area. You name it, different just heads of state, from different countries and stuff like that. They were all in New York on the same day at a Global Citizens Festival, and they made a proclamation. They made a $400 billion proclamation. Citibank guaranteed $400 billion to start bringing global change to the world. Okay? Now, this is being headed up, obviously, by the big banksters, by the global elites. This happened in New York City. There was, it was about a 6-hour long concert, and I think there was about 60,000 people there. Okay? They performed with Beyonce, Ed Sheeran, Coldplay, Common, and a bunch of other acts, a bunch of other people that graced that stage. And the stage was in the shape of an eye. I can't make this up, guys. I cannot make this stuff up. You can go to my channel. I'll leave a link below this video so that you can see it yourself. And you'll say, wait, hold on. What the hell is going on here? What are these people doing? How did I not hear about this? In order to get tickets to this event, you can't buy the tickets. You have to become a global citizen. And then you have to perform so many duties through being a global citizen, and the tickets will be given to you. So it's kind of like an invite-only event. So that's why you didn't hear about it, because you weren't invited. It was only streamed by MSNBC. Now, in case you don't know this, I've been sounding the alarm for this for over a year as well. NBC is the New World Order's, is the Democratic side's New World Order media outlet. If you want to find out what the Democrats have going on and what they're planning on doing next, or what their agenda is, or how they're skewing situations, you have to watch NBC for that. So MSNBC was the only organization that actually streamed this event. Okay, and it was on YouTube Live. So I watched it on YouTube Live for 6 hours, and the only network that was there was MSNBC. So about 99% of the world still doesn't know about the Global Citizens Festival that happened in New York City when the Pope was there. Now, we're talking the financial capital of the world, the top religious person of the world, the top bankers of the world, Michelle Obama, the vice president, his wife, our richest people, Bill Gates, Richard Branson, I believe Elon Musk was there. If I'm not mistaken, don't hold me to Elon, but I believe he was there as well. But you have all of these people that are the richest in the world that did not miss this event. Not only did they not miss this event, but it was so many exclusive people for it to be held a secret from the public was almost like a slap in the face. It's letting you know that something creepy, eerie, and mysterious is going on. Your attention was diverted to the other side of the financial capital of the world, to the other side of the city, while these people sat here and did their songs and made their proclamations for 6 hours. That they're going to bring clean drinking water, electricity, and all of these things to to the whole world through their globalist platform. Now, this may not seem like a big idea to some of you, but trust me, it is. It's a very huge idea, because one of the people that I didn't mention that was there was Chelsea Clinton. Okay? If you won't find her in many photos, but I was able to actually find a photo, and she actually has the Global Citizens backdrop from where they were doing, the media poses and taking pictures. She has that behind her, the Global Citizens backdrop. But then, interestingly enough, I found another photo of Chelsea Clinton, and she was at her parents' foundation, at the Clinton Foundation, and guess what kind of awards they were giving out? Global Citizens Awards. So now she's in front of a blue backdrop at the Clinton Foundation during the Global Citizens Awards. I can't make this stuff up, guys. I'm telling you, I cannot make this stuff up. This is all true. You won't hear this on any other channel, because the rest of the guys and girls that are, out there doing this kind of work, independent media, they're not talking about it because they haven't researched it, so they don't know. Okay? I don't just go off of articles and stuff like that. I really watch. I really pay attention as much as I can, and I try to find the intricacies where other folks, may miss them at. So, you have the Global Citizens Foundation, and you have Chelsea Clinton and the Clintons that are a part of that. You have the Clinton Foundation, who is going along with this Global Citizens model. This is called globalization. This is where the road meets. This is where it all intersects and comes together. And that's why I'm surprised that a lot of independent media outlets did not catch the Global Citizens Festival of 2015 when the Pope was here. I'm still completely shocked by that. Completely shocked by it. And every time I talk about it and tell people about it, they always look at me like, are you sure? And I show them the video. That video will be listed beneath here. It's literally United Nations indoctrination on U.S. soil. But no one even cared. We completely subverted our federal government, our state governments, local governments. We went right to the globalization efforts, and nobody picked up on it. It saddens me. So, let's backtrack it a little bit. Now, why is this happening? Why is all of this happening? Why is George Soros tied in with Clinton? Why is George Soros tied in with Trump? And why are they doing all of this to America? And I'm going to tell you why. It's greed, it's power, it's control. It's everything that your parents may have warned you about in the 80s and 90s, and it's coming to fruition now. In the year of 2000, from 2000 to 2004, when I was in the military, I worked, like I said, as an information systems analyst, but there was a very specific duty that I had at one point in time, and that was secure video teleconferencing. I've sat in many, many, many meetings with General Abrams and other brass from around the world, talking about the globalist agenda that would happen in about 20 years. We're knocking on that door now. I put out a video series called The Army After Next. If you have not watched it, it is one of the most important pieces of independent media on YouTube that you should watch if you care about the next 9 years of your life. Army After Next, part 1, 2, and 3. And I detail everything that I went through in the military and what we talked about. And I actually pull out a document, the Army After Next document, that was shared by all of the top brass during that time frame from the 96 to the 2000 time frame, the documents from then. They're publicly available now right here on my channel, guys. All you got to do is just go beneath this video and check out the Army After Next. If you think everything I'm saying is crazy, go check it out. You see for yourself. I don't have to lie. I don't have to make anything up. I'm not getting paid an exorbitant amount of money to do this. George Soros isn't in my pocket. I'm generally doing this out of the kindness of my heart and trying to make sure you guys see what's going on. So, make sure you check out this information, guys. The country is being taken over, and that's what's going on down in Dallas right now. That's where it's all leading to. That's why George Soros has spent money around the Black Lives Matter movement and organizations that surround the Black Lives Matter movement to skew the reality of it. Black Lives Matter has very extremely credible causes. But if you can put the money in and then paint them as bad guys, then that stokes the fire for racial tension. It stokes the fire for everything we see right now. And if you guys want to sit back and just think that, oh, it's just black people are terrible people, you've got another thing coming. Black people have helped build this country. We've never in mass numbers turned our guns on you and said you enslaved our forefathers, our relatives, our people. You've enslaved us. You've made us go through forced sterilizations up into the 1970s. Forced sterilizations. You've brought Margaret Sanger within the public eye and allowed her to, with her eugenicist friends, start up Planned Parenthood and place those Planned Parenthoods around disadvantaged neighborhoods to kill black babies. We've never risen up and said, you know what, we're going to kill you all. We've never, ever done that. We've had a couple people through history who have snapped, such as the young man down in Dallas that just snapped. But I think there's a lot more to that situation, and I think he had some help. There's no way he didn't have any help. I watched the whole situation, and I think that man had some help. So this is what I'm saying, guys. We have a problem here that's being ignored, and black people are not the problem. They're not the problem. They're simply reacting and responding to a set of circumstances and situations that have been placed on community, my community, and bringing those to the forelight and saying, wait, stop. Now, unfortunately, the only thing that, well, not the only thing, but one of the major things that a lot of black people are doing right now is protesting. I'm here to tell you, you won't see me out protesting. For what? To ask somebody to change the system that they set up, not in my favor? I'm not going to do it. Instead, I'm going to tear it down. That's what's going to happen. I'm not going to step a foot out of my house. I'm just going to start telling my brothers and sisters what the real is. Now, what I want you to do is subscribe to my channel. I'm going to put out another video, and I'm going to tell you exactly how we're going to tear down this corrupt system. What we're going to do to tear down this system. We don't have to fire at people. We don't have to spew hate. We don't have to do any of that. Now, primarily, that's not what's going on. There's a lot of solidarity going on. There's even a lot of white people at these Black Lives Matter protests because they understand the extreme nature of the situation and that we've opened the doors to 50s and 60s racism again. Black Lives Matter is not, again, it is not a racist organization or a movement. Giuliani was dead wrong when he said that over the weekend. Giuliani doesn't want to talk about the systematic factors that Black Lives Matter actually addresses, such as mass incarceration, such as brutality that doesn't involve death. BLM doesn't just stand for black people that are killed by police officers. It talks about what is happening every day in black communities, the brutalization that is happening. I've been put in the hospital by cops as a veteran. I've been put in the hospital. I still have a chipped tooth as a veteran from being beat down, held down to the ground, and continually beat in the face. That's what happened to me as a veteran in this country. So when I tell you I don't have any kind of animosity or anger necessarily towards even the Middle Eastern people who are going through their own turmoil, I am more afraid of the police in my own neighborhood as a black veteran. Giuliani says to teach your kids to have respect for law enforcement and to do whatever they ask you to do. This kind of thought process is the same kind of white supremacist thought process that says, little black boy, little black girl, shut the hell up and stay in line. I don't care about your rights. You stay in line and you listen to me. I don't care about the economic disparities in your neighborhood. You stay in line and you listen. I don't care about not just the economic disparities in your neighborhood, but the chances for good housing in your neighborhoods. I don't care about that. You stay in line. And staying in line means you stay over here in this tax zone. If you try to leave out of this tax zone, we're going to profile you even harder and come down on you because you don't belong around our white neighborhoods. That's what this thought process comes from Giuliani. Okay? He's not a reasonable man, and that's why he's been in a city where, financial capital of the world, where they've had the highest incarceration rates, and on top of the highest incarceration rates, they have had the most police brutality out of any city in the United States of America. So we can't bring this guy on as a credible, speaking as a credible guest and say that, hey, you know what he has to say, it really matters, it really makes a difference. No, it doesn't. He's been hugely responsible for a lot of disparities that are going on in these neighborhoods within his own area of New York City. So his view is skewed. Like I said, Giuliani will not talk about the economic disparities that are happening in these neighborhoods. They won't talk about what's happening to the education in these tax zones. This Common Core education in these tax zones. These kids are coming out dumber than rocks. Excuse me for saying it, but this is what's going on if you don't have the proper tax zone. Your school's not in a proper tax zone, so you're not equipped to face the challenges of this new emerging world, this technological world. That's why less than 1% of the people that work over in Silicon Valley are black. For the most part, our people don't have the know-how to work in Silicon Valley because they don't have the opportunities to actually get there. And the ones that actually do excel to that high level of education and excellence, they're kind of turned away. Or they pick up a couple of them so they can keep the numbers in the books right, so they can get a good hit for them. That's what's going on, guys. So when you look at the Dallas situation, think about it. Really think about what you see going on right there, and think about how the media is delivering a narrative to you to divide this country. That's what they're trying to do, guys. The summer of chaos has started. This country is starting to become divided. What I want you to do is I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Who Is Sincere. My website is also whoissincere.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be pointing out a lot of things that we can do to change the situation, and it's not going to involve asking and marching and all of this. It's going to be single-handedly the most amazing thing that's ever happened for black people in this country that they can do on their own. They don't have to ask a single white man to do it. It's 100% legal, and it will completely collapse the system of corruption and tyranny. Okay? We need a fresh restart. We need a fresh restart. We don't have to harm any white people to do it. But we will take your money. We will take your money away because it's our money. We spend billions of dollars in the United States. But if we circumvent how we spend that, it's going to hurt your pockets. So, you don't have to listen. Don't matter to me. I don't care. The only thing that I care is my black brothers and sisters are dying in the streets on a daily basis. Even the unarmed ones dying in the streets. I live on a road, East Brainerd Road in Chattanooga, Tennessee. There was just a standoff here the other day, a 7-hour standoff with a white gentleman. No shots fired, standoff ended peacefully. They even called in the lawyers to make sure that no charges were going to be filed. None were filed. Had that have been a black man, guess what? They're going in, they're taking him out. Okay? That's what we're talking about, guys. We're talking about privilege. Black people have no privilege in this country, but yet we've given so much. Our blood is in this soil. We've worked this land. We've made some of these oligarchy families tremendously rich off the blood and the sweat and the tears off of our backs, and we have never received any kind of reparations for that slave labor. And still, we are in an economic system that is exploiting us. And it's not just black people that are being exploited, it's a lot of lower income people that are being exploited, but the brunt of it falls on the black population, hence the term Black Lives Matter. So that's all I'm going to give you guys for now. Subscribe to this channel. What's coming next is going to be groundbreaking and is going to leave you with your jaw drop. I'm going to start a petition on change.org, also on the White House site, and we're going to get this crap under control. As always, guys, stay alert, stay alive, don't freak out.